For more on today's hearing, I want to bring in California Congressman Adam Schiff, a Democrat. He's a member of the January 6th committee, as well as chairman of the House Select Committee on Intelligence. So Congressman Schiff, we've now heard from several people who were close to Vice President Pence. Why hasn't the committee actually brought Mike Pence in to testify, either live or in a recorded testimony? Wouldn't hearing from him directly prove the committee's case so much more vividly than hearing from his aides?
Well, we're not excluding the possibility of bringing him in, but at this point in the investigation and in our hearings, we brought in the witnesses that we did, and I think they were quite compelling. The videotape testimony of his chief of staff, the live testimony of his attorney. You can often get, every bit as good information from some of the non-principals in the room than from the principal. But again, not ruling out that possibility. And we'll just have to take it as it goes.
We learned today that Justice Department officials have been asking the committee, and in fact at least began doing so in April, to turn over about 1,000 witness transcripts, but the committee, your committee, has so far refused. The Justice Department says they need this information as soon as possible for their prosecutions and investigations. Why has the committee not cooperated with the Justice Department?
We've been in dialogue with the Justice Department. Jake, I've been involved in several high-profile investigations. I've never seen the Justice Department say, give us all your files. And we're working with them to make sure they get what they need, consistent with our own investigative needs. But we want them to be successful. We want them to bring to justice anyone who broke the law. And we're confident we will be able to help them pursue any of the lawbreakers involved. But again, I think the challenge is the breadth of their request, but we're going to work through it and make sure they get what they need.
Well, they've prosecuted more than 800 people who actually stormed the Capitol that day in terms of lawbreakers. Are you looking at individuals above them, individuals who organized people to come to Washington, D.C.? Are you looking at John Eastman possibly as having committed criminal offense? We learned today that Eastman emailed Giuliani about getting a presidential pardon after the events of January 6th.
Well, that's right. And of course, Judge Carter out in California, in his opinion now, I think multiple times expressed the view based on the evidence that he has seen that both Eastman and Donald Trump violated 2 or 3 federal laws. So, that's certainly my view that those issues need to be investigated by the Justice Department. Our job is not a criminal responsibility. Our job is to find the facts, expose them to the public light, and develop remedies to protect our democracy going forward. But I certainly believe, as Judge Carter articulated, that there's already evidence sufficient to warrant the Justice Department doing its own investigation.
I want to play this moment where former White House attorney for Trump, Eric Hirschman, described a phone call he had with Rudy Giuliani.
The morning of January 6th, I think he called me out of the blue, right? And I was like getting dressed. And we had an intellectual discussion about Eastman's, I don't know if it's Eastman's theory per se, but the VP's role. And he was asking me my view and analysis and then the practical implications of it. And when we finished, he said, Rick, I believe that, you're probably right.
You're probably right. First of all, it must be weird for you to have Eric Hirschman saying so many things that you agree with, given how you guys went after each other and squared off in the first impeachment of Donald Trump. But talk about that, if you would, for a second, about Rudy Giuliani telling Eric Hirschman you're probably right, and then going out publicly and saying the opposite. We see a lot of this going on in this hearing.
No, you're absolutely right. And you're right, first of all, about Mr. Hirschman. People that don't remember his role in the first impeachment may not remember he was among the most bombastic of the Trump lawyers. And it showed, like so many of the other people working around the president defending him, that they got to a point where they could defend his conduct, his misconduct, no more. Some got there sooner than others. It was very late for Mr. Hirschman. But nonetheless, we see this consistent theme of Giuliani acknowledging to Hirschman that, yeah, this is probably a bogus legal theory. Eastman acknowledging to Greg Jacob, yeah, this probably we'd lose 9-0 in the Supreme Court. But we're doing it anyway. they understood exactly what they're doing, but nothing mattered to them so much as keeping Trump in power, not our democracy, not anything else, not if it provoked violence. Their only object, apparently, like Donald Trump's, was staying in office and defying a tradition as old as our country of a peaceful transfer of power.
Just to defend Eric Hirschman for 1 second, in the first impeachment trial, he was an attorney doing his job. In this, he's a witness. So there is a little bit of a difference, as I know you understand fully well. Congressman.
Well, but Jake, Mr. Hirschman was also working with Donald Trump all that time. He didn't start working as a defense lawyer for him. But, again, it is a pattern, the same with Bill Barr.
Yeah.
Bill Barr, intervened in the sentencing of Roger Stone, intervened to make cases go away against Michael Flynn. But he got to the point where he couldn't do what Donald Trump wanted him to do anymore. And, thank goodness he got to that point eventually.
Congressman Adam Schiff, thank you so much. That's it for the Lead the Situation.